Welcome to Kathy's Country Life. I'm Kathy, and today we are going to be canning ranch style beans, southwestern style beans. I'm not really sure what the appropriate recipe name would be, but it's a ranch southwest style bean. It's really good to just open up, heat up, eat with some cornbread. They make fabulous beans, chili beans to go into your chili, any of your soups. They're really just delicious, just straight out of the jar and heat it up. But it's so versatile. Like I said, you can use it for chili beans, you can use it as your soup beans, just as a side with your cornbread and vegetables. They're just delicious. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to be canning quart size in the pressure canner, and I've started out with 4 pounds of great northern beans. I have washed them. I have picked out any debris, found any stones and got those out, washed them real good, drained them, and they've just kind of been sitting here chilling out and getting ready for all the ingredients. I'm going to start out by putting a scant cup of the beans into my quart jars. Okay, so I have washed and sterilized these quart jars. I have checked for any dings, and I just want to show you before we get started. I was washing this jar, and I don't know if you can tell, there's a little snafu right there. It's on the outside. It's some chipped glass. Let's see. And I don't know what happened to this jar, but we're not going to use it for canning purposes. Now, I will use it like to store spices with just the rubber lid in. It'll be fine. But putting this aside, it's a no-no. And this one also had something. Oh, when I ran my fingers across it, it just dips down right there. It's not really, I don't know if you can see, probably can't see it, but if I'm going around, it goes whoop, just whoop, right there. So I'm not going to use this as a canning jar because I'm scared it won't seal good. It won't seal good. So I'll use that one as a storage jar also. So anyway, make sure that everything's clean. I'm doing things a little bit different. I am doing a no hot. Nothing is hot. My beans are cool. They're at room temperature. My jars are cool. They're at room temperature. The liquid that I'm going to put in is cool. It's at room temperature. And my canner, I'm not going ahead and heating up the water and stuff. It is just there at room temperature. And this is one way that you can do dried beans, and it works out just fine. So let's get started. We're going to add a scant cup, which means not a full cup. You know, it's not quite a full cup. And where's my lid? Not my lid. This thingamabob. Colander. Jar funnel. So I'm going to add a scant cup into each quart jar. If you're doing pints, do a half a cup. But for quarts, a scant cup. Okay, I got more beans to do more jars. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do 2 more quarts in my canner. So let me go run and get 2 more quarts. Okay, the ones that I had clean were the regular mouth, which they're smaller than these wide mouth. I prefer the wide mouth. It's so easy to wash. It's so easy to get your stuff out of. But the regular mouths work just as well. Now the reason why we're just putting this amount in a jar is because these are hard, fully dried beans that take normally, several hours to cook in just a boiling pot. And they get bigger and they soak up a lot of liquid. And so since we are canning these, we will, these will fully cook in the canner, and the beans are going to get bigger, and they're going to swell. They're going to soak up the liquid and the spices that we put in here, and you just be amazed. So that's all. That's why we're only putting this many. These will triple in size, quadruple in size. Okay, so now for the spices. You can really add whatever you like, what spice combination you like. This to me is just really good, and if you don't like something, don't put it in. If you like something else, add that to it. So first of all, I have got minced onion, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of the following spices to each jar. I like using minced onion. It seems like it has a more stout onion flavor, and they're kind of like, little dehydrated chunks of onion instead of just the powder. I got a froggy in my throat. Okay, so I have got 1 teaspoon of minced onion. Next, I'm going to add minced garlic. Same thing, a little chunky. Oh, yummo, y'all. 1 teaspoon into each jar. Sorry about that. My battery died, so I thought I'd reposition you in a different area. Okay. And we ain't done yet. Okay, we're going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to go to a 1/2 teaspoon, and I am going to add, and I may need another jar of chopped green chilies. We don't really like heat around here. Jalapenos would be out of this world if you like the hot. So I'm going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of green chilies. They smell good. I may go back and add another 1/2 teaspoon, make it a whole teaspoon. Let's do that. Let's play on the wild side today. Let's do a whole teaspoon. I got enough of it. Feeling a little sassy today. Sassy. Okay. And now we are definitely going to do, because I'm not a big fan of this, is cumin. It's okay. It does give it a little, you kind of need it, but I'm not a big fan. So I'm just going to put, you can tell if you don't put it in, but if you put too much, it kind of ruins it for me. So I'm just going to do, I'm really doing a scant 1/2 teaspoon of the cumin. Very earthy, very, very earthy. Okay, and then for my Korean red pepper that I love, this gives it a little bit of heat without it being like cayenne. And I'm going to do a scant teaspoon. I like how I always use scant. Scant this, scant that. Well, it's not 1/2 teaspoon. It's not 3/4 teaspoon. It's just almost a teaspoon, but not quite. And if you put a teaspoon in there, it's okay. All right, we're going to go back to my 1/2 teaspoon, and I'm going to do salt. Do not use your table salt anytime you're canning. It has iodine in it, and you don't want iodized salt in here. It'll make your canned goods turn a funny color and they just don't look appetizing. So always use the non-iodized salt. You can use your canning salt that you get in the canning aisle at the store. I use pink Himalayan salt and it's perfect. Okay, so we got our beans and we got our spices. We are going to fill this up to 1-inch headspace, which is usually this last, well, it's always this last rim coming around here, with water, room temperature water. I had some chicken broth left over in a carton and I went ahead and just poured it in and added it, but you don't have to do that, but I mean, it's more flavor. So we're just going to pour these in. 1-inch headspace. You can use water, you can use a mix of water and broth, you can use all broth. It's a little bit too much in that one. That's okay, we can dip it out. No harm, no foul. I ran out of water, so I had to add some more, and then plus my husband came in making no. Well, ran out of water again. Hold on. All right, let's try that. Can you believe it? Okay, there we go. Needs a little bit more. Okay, finally got the water situation right. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna mix these up, and I've got too much water in a couple of them, and all the herbs kind of float to the top. So I'm gonna go back in with a little spoon and try to dip some of that liquid off and put some in a couple that's a little short. But I don't want to get those herbs. So I'm going to go down deep. I'm going down deep. Scooting them around. Just dipping. Okay, that looks good. Alright, you want to get any air bubbles out, so you go with, this is a debubbler tool in the canning section that you can use. You can just go down in the jars just to loosen up any air bubbles that's going to come up. Or I just use this little wood tool. Okay, I'm back. My husband was leaving to go to a Bible study, and the guy that was picking him up pulled up, and my dog goes crazy. Okay, so we've got all the jars with our beans, our spices, our water. Now we're going to wipe the lids to make sure none of the spices got, which I see some have, some of the spices, liquid, all that gets on top of the rims, and it could make your seal not happen very good. So I get a paper towel, I dip it in some vinegar that I keep in this bowl, and we're just going to wipe around the rims of the jar. See, got that much off, just that one. So make sure you clean your rims always. I always use vinegar. Some people say water's fine. I just got in the habit of doing vinegar, especially if you do in anything, if you're canning anything with meat in it, it's greasy. Anything with sugar, it's sticky. Vinegar just seems to get it all squeaky clean. So I always just use vinegar. This one I made a total mess out of. He's meshy. It's a messy little booger. Okay. Yes, you do. Okay, they all look clean. Again, we're doing a cold canning. So I have not heated my lids. You don't have to heat your lids now, they say, for even when you're hot canning, but I always do. But these are cold. These are Denali canning lids that I ordered online. They're very reasonable. I get tired of going to the store and not finding any lids, especially the wide mouth ones. So I saw an advertisement for them and they were very reasonable. So I bought some. And I also bought regular mouth because the only thing about the packaging is that they're very annoying to get into. But these are the small mouth ones. Or not small mouth, regular mouth. I call them small mouth because they're smaller than the wide mouth. But this is the only thing people had for years and years and years and years was the regular mouth. Okay. I'm not washing them, sterilizing them, because believe me, this pressure washer, it's been a long day. The pressure canner will take care of that for me. So I'm going to add my rings. Just finger tight. You don't have to like crank down on them. If you crank down on them, it's going to cause your lid to buckle and you won't get a good seal. I don't reuse my lids. They say you can. I haven't experimented with that yet, but I do reuse your rings. I mean, even if they're the ugliest, rustiest thing, you can reuse those. You just want something to hold this lid on until it can get a good seal. Okay, that's good. Got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My canner will hold 7 quarts, so let's go over there and put them in. Okay, I have the Presto canner, and I always put, and these things get to looking so bad. They're not dirty. It's just, they just do this. You can scrub them and scrub them, and I can't ever get it off, but they eventually, after the first or second use, they get bad. If anybody knows what to do about that, let me know. But I always can with this in the bottom. You don't want your can sitting straight on the bottom. I fill it up with about 1 inch of water, 1.5 inches of water, and also with my bowl of vinegar that I use to wipe, I'll pour some of this vinegar in there. It just kind of keeps the lime scale, because I use well water, from getting on the sides, the outside of the jar, and having to have to scrub that off. And I really got it too when I was on city water, but anyway, I always take that step. My mother-in-law taught me to always do that, and so that's what I do. And now, the jars are not hot at all. Just lift them, put them in. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to do with this eye. This eye seems to regulate a little bit better. Okay. I'm going to get a little closer. Maybe. Okay, and number 7. So I have got my eye on now, and we are going to bring this up to pressure. The water will heat. It will slowly heat the jars. That will slowly heat the insides, and it'll all be good. Now this part right here, hey, okay, this part right here, I got that scaly stuff on here, but what we're waiting for is a steady stream of steam to come out of this, and we'll start our timer for 10 minutes when it becomes a steady stream of steam. That's building up the pressure inside the canner. Once that 10 minutes is over, we'll put our jiggler weight on here, and then bring it up to the pounds. Let me see. I'm doing this backwards. I have a gauge like this, and I work off of 10 pounds for my elevation. So then we wait until it gets up to 10 pounds of pressure, and then you're going to start your timer. I'm doing quarts, so quarts is always going to be, sorry about that, close up. Quarts we're processing at 90 minutes. Pints are at 75 minutes. Meat and dried beans all process at the same time. So if you wanted to add some meat, some ham, bacon, anything like that into it, it's no problem because the beans and the meat process at the same time. When I first started canning dried beans, I would dry pinto beans and add onion, and I'd buy those flat ham steaks and just cut off a chunk of that and put it in each jar. And that's real good. I still do that even though I started out doing it. And that's real good. But it works out because your meat, no matter what kind of meat you have, it's going to process for quarts 90 minutes, for pints 75 minutes. So you can add some meat into the beans because it's all going to process at the same time. How nifty is that? I want to interrupt this fabulous show for a commercial break. Y'all, while I was doing this Amazon, UPS just delivered this, and I saw another YouTuber that had got this. Does anybody know what this is? It's a garlic peeler. So this just came. I've got some garlic cloves out, and we are going to see how good this works. Stay tuned. Okay, so garlic peeler. They say you just drop it in here and roll it. Bummerooski, man. Okay, let's try this again. I just got had, I think. Maybe you have to do it hard. Okay, well, okay, here we are. See? And then you can just take it out. Okay, okay, okay. Let's do another one. I think you gotta do it harder than when I was doing. You have to bring out the muscles. Uh-oh, it slipped out. Okay, here we go. Get it, girl, get it. Okay. Okay, that one obliterated. I'm from Alabama. Okay. So, it's really didn't do as good as I thought. But I'm going to say it's better than doing the old knife smash and peel. Yeah, I like it. I'll be using it. What do y'all think? And here's the box for the garlic peeler in case you want to look for it on Amazon. I don't have any kind of affiliate links or anything, but this is what it looks like. You can just search garlic peeler and there's a ton of different ones. I just got this 2-pack in red and black. Okay, you just always want to remember when you're opening up your canning lid after the pressure has gone down, you want to open the lid this way. You don't want to open it the other way because there's a lot of steam that's coming out of here. And you don't want it to burn your face. You don't want your face burnt off. So we are just going to let the jars, still got that frog in my throat, sit here. They're going to be cooking still some because of the bubbling going on in there. It's still boiling. We're going to let them sit here. They'll cool off. I should be hearing some dings here in a little bit where the lid's seal. And tomorrow we will take the rings off, clean the jars up, and put them on our pantry. And these are going to be delicious. So that's it for this video. It's already pretty late at night. It's dark outside. I'm a little bit on the exhausted side, so I think I'm going to just do some chillaxing tonight. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you try this. They are delicious. And I will see you next time. Bye.